During World War II, the Italian army was largely outmatched when compared to other major powers. Was this because Italian engineers failed to provide them with effective weapons? In this video, we will explore Italy's domestic tank development projects. This vehicle was developed based on the platform of the French Renault FT light tank. The first prototype was completed in 1919. From 1921 to 1930, a total of 150 vehicles armed with an automatic loading gun and machine guns were produced. The Fiat 3000 remained in combat service until as late as 1943. The L640 was an Italian light tank developed by Fiat Ansaldo in the late 1930s. It entered mass production in 1940 and began active service in 1942. The L640 was used by the Italian armed forces across multiple fronts. According to one source, 283 units had been produced by September 1943. The M1441 was an upgraded version of the M1340. The first M1441 was produced in the summer of 1941. Unlike the M1340, this variant featured a more powerful engine, along with new air and fuel filtration systems, allowing it to better adapt to the harsh climate of Africa. A total of 752 vehicles were manufactured. The M1542 was an Italian medium tank produced from early 1943. After Italy's surrender, a total of 90 units had been completed, some of which were seized by Germany. Subsequently, a further 28 vehicles were built. The M1542 was later used by German forces in anti-partisan operations in Yugoslavia. In late 1940, the Italian army first encountered the British cruiser tank Mk4, which sparked Italian engineers' interest in the concept of a high-speed tank. Initially, the plan was to build a low-profile vehicle with armor up to 30 mm thick and a maximum weight of 13 tons. A 250 horsepower engine was projected to be sufficient to achieve a top speed of 55 km per hour. However, the design failed to pass official trials. Development of the P2640 began in late 1940, but due to the lack of a suitable engine, the first prototype was not completed until early 1942. Mass production began in 1943 in Turin. After Italy's surrender in the autumn of 1943, the P2640 entered service under the new designation, Panzerkampfwagen P4737I, and was used by German reserve divisions primarily as fixed defensive bunkers. In total, 100 vehicles were produced. The P43 was an Italian medium tank project developed in the mid-1940s. Only a single 1/10 scale wooden mock-up was ever constructed. The P43 bis was one of the variants in the P43 medium tank development project, armed with a 90 mm gun. The P44 Pantera was a medium tank developed during World War II, with a design that shared many similarities with the German Panther. It existed only on paper. This model was reconstructed based on a preliminary design derived from the requirements of General Francesco Rossi. The new vehicle was to be equipped with an advanced 3-round clip loading system and had an estimated weight of only around 35 tons. However, the project was ultimately cancelled because Italian industry and technology were unable to meet its requirements. In the late 1950s, the Italian army began to take an interest in projects designed by the Germans. Several concepts evolved into a 30-ton tank project similar to the German standard Panzer program. A 6-road wheel chassis was selected for the Prototipo 6. It was to be fitted with a welded turret, and its armament was to be developed based on American tank guns. However, a prototype was never built. The Prototipo Standard B was a prototype developed and built under the German Kampfpanzer standard program, which Italy joined in 1958. After extensive trials, the Group A prototypes were rated more highly, ultimately leading to the development and production of the Leopard 1. By 1960, a total of 2 Prototipo Standard B prototypes had been completed. Felice was an Italian medium tank characterized by several unusual technical features. Its turret was derived from the Contracara 1 project, while the hull was based on the Prototipo 6 design. The main armament was a powerful 127mm gun, superior to that of most contemporaries. The project was presented to senior officials of the Italian armed forces in 1964. However, it was not selected for mass production. Progetto M40 Mod 65. In 1969, Italian military experts and engineers outlined the main requirements for a future tank: sloped armor, a cast turret and gun mantlet, combined with a powerful Mitsubishi engine to create a vehicle that was small. Coccodrillo in 1961, after receiving intelligence on the Soviet T-10M heavy tank, the Italian army decided to develop a counterweight vehicle of its own. The preparation of technical requirements was delayed, and actual development did not begin until 1965. By 1970, the design was essentially complete. However, due to high costs and lower mobility compared to the German Leopard 1, the Coccodrillo project was ultimately discontinued. In 1967, despite already having production lines for the Leopard 1, as well as the M60 Patton, Italy continued to invest in domestic tank projects. One of these was the Lion. Based on the hull of the Leopard 1A3, the turret was completely redesigned. The first trials took place in 1977, but the vehicle ultimately never entered mass production.